So I've landed here on the AMETEK.com website homepage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the homepage. I'll work my way down, and then I'll work into some of this navigation up here at the top until we get to about 15 pages or 30 minutes worth. Okay. So immediately what I'm noticing is there seems to be quite a bit of rotating images here. I think it's a lot. It's a little overwhelming. If anything, if you're going to have rotating images here, I think you should keep it minimal, and you should keep it to more of the AMETEK business model, mission statement, maybe some CTAs to some important parts of your website, maybe 2 products. It looks like maybe this is products, if I'm just guessing. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like they're the same. Maybe a CTA to the products or something like that. But I think that would be a better use of space here instead of rotating through each of these. And to keep in mind, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that someone would have to click through without coming up here, assuming that they would need to come up here to products first. Before they can get proper information. I think that there's a better way to lay this out. I think listing all of the products like this on the home page is a good thing to have, but I would maybe consider that being moved more towards the bottom of the page and in a grid format, maybe with some high quality photos to accompany each of those products that are offered, maybe with a read more CTA like we have on each of these that takes you to the actual product pages, but more in a grid format down here where a potential client or partner could read easily each of those different products instead of having to scroll through these. Okay, I'll move my way down just a little bit. There's a lot of wording here. I don't know that that's the best thing to have on the homepage. There's a whole lot of words. You want it to be concise, to the point, have actionable next steps available all over. And I feel that that's really lacking here. It looks like maybe this is some about information. So if anything, adding an about CTA, something that says like read more, that takes them to a more thorough about page. Same with like recent news, a CTA that takes them to a more in-depth recent news page. And even stock info, if there's another page on the website, for that, because it doesn't look like any of these things are clickable, except maybe these under recent news, each of these, but it's only showing 3. I assume that there's probably more recent news. So if you're going to feature some on the homepage, then I would have an option to be able to guide a client or whomever is roaming the website to the next place where they can get even more of that same information. Okay, and I'm just seeing a little bit of errors here. It looks like under the stock info area, like this little green arrow, it doesn't look aligned. That's just something minor, but something that is very noticeable on the homepage. I think that otherwise there's more opportunity here to expand on the homepage. I don't see necessarily a clear mission statement. If there is one already for the company, I mean, maybe it's, something in here. But that's where I feel that a mission statement should be front and center on the homepage, going through, a high quality rotating imagery here at the very top with that mission statement information. I think this type of website is deserving of a mission statement and that being very clear on the page. A couple of other things to expand on within the homepage area is maybe, let me think, like prominent partners that AMETEK may work with, noting those in a more visual way, like with their company logos and things like that, or maybe I'll have to just kind of go through this. Maybe I'll come up with some more ideas that are maybe prominent to list here. So I'll keep that in mind as I keep going. But that's just some ideas for now. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna keep moving. Actually, I'm gonna take a look just right down here. I just want to see that, things here are clickable down here in the footer. And immediately it doesn't seem that they are. I feel that these headers and over each of these areas within the footer should be clickable to a main landing page. Just for navigation's sake, that would be nice. And I don't see anything under contact us. I mean, this isn't clickable. If there was, if it was, then it could, I assume you probably have, okay, you have a contact page. So taking, making that clickable to go to the contact page, or adding a CTA here, or even a form that kind of stays open in the footer area. But this isn't a great user experience, not being able to click into some of these things. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of work my way across the top now. I'm going to start with About Us by just clicking into the actual About Us navigation up here first. Okay. So it looks like I'm just on a basic landing page here. Maybe, actually, I think it's a landing page for businesses. I don't know if that's the best customer experience. I feel that it should have a proper landing page that includes, an overview of all of this information that we have broken out here in subcategories under About Us, and not necessarily going to the first page listed here. I don't think that's the best experience. What you could do on a landing page is, again, kind of with that grid format. I mean, visually, you want it appealing, you want it interactive, graphic, things like that. And so putting things in a grid format with imagery and little text is good. And that's something that could be done here. All of these, different subcategories under About Us could be in that type of format that can be clickable, that goes into each of these pages. Okay, so but it looks like, looking at the URL, it looks like, and right here, it looks like it took us straight to the businesses subcategory. Okay, so I mean, it's very basic overview. I don't think there's necessarily anything bad about that in general. So I think that's fine, other than the images are very blurry. Considering, this is a corporate company, you would automatically assume that higher quality imagery would be a big priority amongst the website. And yeah, these are just not very good quality. I'm just going to kind of move down some of these businesses. I'll start here with businesses and work my way through. So I'm going to do some of these. So Abaco Systems. And I see that it says Abaco Systems here as well. Okay, so it looks like it's just more information on getting in contact with this business. I don't think it's necessary to have another click required from the person viewing the website to have to get to be able to get even more information. I think that's just an extra step that isn't necessary. All of this information, I think, could absolutely be listed on this main page. I think this main page is good. With the basic information regarding Abaco Systems, but then adding that whole contact blurb that was on this page to this main Abaco Systems page, I think would be a better experience than having to click again. I'll just move down to the next one and see if it's the same. Yeah, so it's the same format. Now there are more here, so I think it could be okay having, these extra subcategories under this business, for example, but for sake of minimizing the number of clicks required, it would be good to consolidate these down to be featured specifically on the Advanced Motion Solutions page. Okay, so I assume that most of these are probably going to be the same situation, just a little insert about each of these businesses and then all of the different businesses within that category. So I won't get too much more into this. For the most part, I would say that what I mentioned about ABACO and Advanced Motion Solutions applies to the rest of them as well. Getting rid of the extra click and updating with high quality imagery. Okay, so we have overview. So this looks like the about information that we saw on the home page. If we were to consolidate the wording, let me go back. Consolidating the wording here under AMETEK at a glance on the homepage, adding a CTA that says read more, and that takes the person to the overview page, which is where you can elaborate on all of these extra little things. And I mean, it's good because you do already have more elaboration on corporate overview, annual report, things like that. So it's more in depth than the homepage, but I think the homepage is maybe a little too much. Let's go down to sustainability. I think this is another area that could be a real highlight on the homepage. Sustainability is so important for business partners, clients, things like that, around nowadays, so it could be an opportunity to expand on the homepage and to feature your sustainability efforts as a company. Yeah, and I mean, I think that this information is good. If there was anything to add to this page, if there were maybe sustainability related articles regarding AMETEK that could be added here that are related to the sustainability efforts of AMETEK, that would be, a good thing to add here. Information about innovation of product and services for a better future, something like that. Environmental safety, things like that. I feel like there's a lot that you could expand on in sustainability. I mean, you have a good base here, but I think that there could definitely be more given the priority that it is for so many people. Okay, growth model. Okay, I don't really have much to say here. I mean, it's good. It's easy to read. I like the bolding. Kind of breaks up the text, and it's visual. Yeah, I'm going to move down the management team. So this looks like basically the executive office. And the first thing I'm thinking is, what about everyone else that is involved in AMETEK that are the everyday people, behind the scenes? I think that there's a lot of opportunity, especially in the corporate world, to be expanding on all of the people, the diversity, the inclusivity, all of that within a company. And this could be anywhere from featuring different teams and their successes or accomplishments or wins, in this quarter or something like that. It could include gallery of the people within the office or on in the field or what have you. Employee appreciation. Maybe like group pictures of different teams and departments and just highlights of what each of those departments do. This is very, CEO centric. And it's always good. It's just a nice little extra thing that makes people feel good about seeing a company and working with a company when they can see, everyone that's involved and how they're involved, and that it shows that the company itself is inclusive. But otherwise, this is good. And I mean, I do think it's important to showcase, some of the presidential and executive officers here, and it's good that you already have images of these people here, so that looks good. Supplier responsibilities. So a lot of white space here. I think I don't know much about, what these different documents are, but if, a way to fill in the white space is what I'm thinking about, is maybe breaking each of these out into the little, about blurb for each of them with the download. Or if it's possible, just on this page, shortening the tweets sidebar. So it's pretty long because it's just a lot of white space here. But otherwise, I think, this is simple and to the point. So, okay, let's move over to products. Okay, so again, I feel that this needs a landing page. It took me straight to, looking at the URL, looks like it took me straight to aerospace and defense, and the same thing that I was saying before. I think that there's very visual and creative ways that you can create a landing page to showcase each of these product categories in a way that is super easy to read. You could even keep this side navigation, but also just creating just a more appealing way to list these on the actual product category page. Because this looks, so it took me straight to aerospace and defense. So it looks like it's a little bit of an about for each of these. And then let me just see what these, okay. I am not knowledgeable in this area, so I won't really go into these pages too much. But I'm looking back at just the first product page here, so aerospace and defense. I don't think if we're going to have subcategories listed, broken out over here in the left navigation under aerospace and defense, I don't think that they need to be listed here below. And if they are listed here, then I think that they need to be linked to, so someone could click on maintenance, repair, overhaul, MRO here where it says that underneath the about, and it takes them straight to maintenance, repair, overhaul. That's just a little like navigational user experience type thing that would enhance this page quite a bit. Something else. Well, let me look through a couple more, and let me see if they're all the same. Okay, yeah, I would say that this is, the same. I would either get rid of these subcategories here, or link these to these pages here. Yeah, I assume that this is going to be the same for all of these product categories, so I won't go too much more into those. Something that I was looking for, though, on these pages is a CTA. I'm looking for something that gets me in contact with you if I am unsure about the products that I'm looking at. And I think something that should be added to each of these product categories is a contact, maybe like a contact bar here, or even a contact form, or just a high quality image that has a CTA that says contact us, that takes them to the contact us page so that they could get in contact immediately. I think that would be a nice touch to be added to each of these pages, being that these are products. Okay, let's move over to news. And sorry, I thought about one more thing. I think I was on this one. When I was kind of skimming through this, I think some of this information could even be bullet pointed. And I mean, I'm not going to go through and read each of these, but some of this information, just for the sake of making it a little bit easier to read, I think could be bullet pointed, bolded, different things like that. That just breaks up some of the thick text, or a thick amount of text, that is, and so it's easier to just skim if that's what you're wanting as a potential client. So let me go back over to news real quick. Okay. Yes, I mean, this is just, it's generic, gets the point across. It's, I mean, there's a basic page. I don't think that there's too much that maybe would need to be changed here. If anything, maybe laying this out a little bit different to include some relevant imagery, with each of these recent product and business news entries. And I see that there are some subcategories. So navigating to news here immediately takes you to news at a glance, which I think that's fine. It's an overview. I don't think this necessarily needs a landing page like maybe About Us or Products did. So then there's also products and business news, which it looks like is this. Corporate and financial news here, and then trade shows, and I don't see any information about that here, but that could be just something else to fill up some of this blank space. Like another just little, kind of like this little bar of, information, something like that for trade shows would be a nice touch. Okay, yeah, I mean, these are simple, clear CTAs. Some images that kind of break up the text, which is nice. Bolded article titles. So yeah, I mean, I think that this area is good. Same with corporate and financial news. And yeah, trade shows. And adding trade shows to the news at a glance, it could include, a CTA, just like those other ones to this page. So, okay, let's move over to investors. Now, if I just click investors, okay, so it takes me basically to a separate website. And I have to say, immediately, I'm feeling that investors was kind of an afterthought, in a good way. Like this website came later than the official AMETEK website did. It's a lot more modern and clean looking. I won't go into much of this. I'm gonna kind of work my way across here. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think that this is good. I love these. This is kind of what I was thinking about for the main website as well. Just these little, graphic boxes that are easy to click into, and they're just visually appealing. Okay. Just curious where, okay, I wanted to just see. If these were all taking me, okay, so they're all taking me to that investors.ametek.com. Okay, yeah, I don't really have any, just for the sake of this basically being a second website, I'm not going to go really much more into this. But just at first glance, I think it looks really good and, easy to navigate. And dare I say, a little bit just more appealing than the official AMETEK website. So a little bit of inconsistency between the two, but I do think that the investors website looks really great. Moving over to careers. Yeah, same with this. Modern, updated, really clean. Plenty of CTAs. And I think that, you could compare the careers and the investors' websites a lot to the official AMETEK website in how many CTAs there are amongst the homepage, different things that you're featuring amongst the homepage. That could be, even, a video, things like that could be translated over into the official AMETEK website as well. Just little things like that make it that much better. And here, look, we have some about our employees, which this is the type of stuff that I feel should be and could be talked about more on the management team area as something, even creating maybe a meet our team type of CTA that maybe on the homepage or something like that. That would be really nice. You have some of the images, you have some of the events that are, take place within AMETEK among the employees. So this is so exciting to see, but it's not being featured on the website. And if you're not looking for a career, you're not going to be coming to the career website, and you won't be seeing these images. So I don't know, just a way to feature some of these other hardworking people among the team. Oh, awesome. Okay, and a diversity and inclusion. That was something else that I was thinking about for the official AMETEK website. Also could be included under About Us, could be featured on the homepage, because that's very important to many people, is seeing that diversity and inclusion amongst the company. So yeah, sustainability. Yeah, these all three of these things are so great. Could take some pointers from your own careers website into this one. Okay, let's move over to contact us. Okay, just basic little form. I would say if anything here, there's a lot of information that's being asked for here. The less information that you are immediately requiring of someone, the better. Some people may be thrown off by address or something, even though it's not required. That's just a thought. The only other thing I was thinking is adding a map with the AMETEK corporate headquarters address and everything. That's just, something else that you typically see on a contact us page, but I don't think it's totally necessary. Okay, so I've gone through, I believe, about 15 pages. There was a couple of things that I wanted to come back to the homepage for based on what I looked through on these pages. So I'm just trying to think on different things. So, maybe some CTAs that could be added to the homepage is something for investors and something for careers, given those are going to be going to separate websites, but they're both, I think, important parts, of the website that could be easily featured on the homepage in a different way other than up here in the navigation. Let me think. I think I already touched on sustainability. That would be a really good one. Same with the inclusivity and the diversity of the company. Maybe like team highlights. Also, even down to like what AMETEK is currently working on, what their goal is, what they see for their future, things like that. I felt that is a little hard to easily come by on the website. Now, it may be deep into one of these pages that I didn't do a whole lot of reading on, but I think that there is a lot of opportunity to really focus on those things like the mission statement, and things like that, where you're going, what you're doing, all of that. It's all important, and I think it should be featured on the homepage more prominently than these products. Like I would feature that here as the first thing you see when you land on the homepage, and moving products down in that grid-like style that I had mentioned, more towards the bottom. But yeah, just making those things a little more prominent on the page, I think would be good. Okay, I think I have just about reached 30 minutes. And I believe I've hit about 15 pages. And if I am short any, I promise you that I will write up anything extra for you in the website summary that I will also be sending you. And again, in that website summary is going to include any screenshots of what I've gone through today, plus screenshots and review from a mobile experience on my iPhone 12. So I will get all of that to you. If you have any questions, just let me know. I hope that this was helpful.